Hello, my name is Francisca Skoogh. I am a pianist. I am also a senior lecturer at the Malmö Academy of Music here at Lund University. I am also a licensed psychologist, and I teach piano students how to perform piano, the vast literature of piano, the repertoire of piano. And the word successful, I think, is a difficult word because it implies many things, and maybe some things you don't have control over. You can become successful winning competitions, having, recording a lot and having lots of concerts. You can become successful also by obtaining the goals you have set for yourself. So I find it's a difficult word, and I mostly focus on, in my course, for example, to make students or musicians work towards goals that they want to obtain and be successful in these goals and in the goal settings that they have for themselves. And that might not always be the most obvious successful goals in life. So tricky question, tricky answer. I want them to be sustainable as musicians. We talk a lot about sustainability, and I want them to have a long career. I want them to be able to perform throughout a lifetime, so to speak. So to be able to hold as a musician with all the demands that we have on us ourselves. So I want them to be successful in managing their careers and their lives, and also be healthy in that aspect. And that is, for me, to be successful, so to speak. Oh, I enjoy many things about my job. Well, first of all, the students, of course. I have amazing students. They're all very diverse, and that is one thing I enjoy a lot, to work with different kind of pianists, and they have different goals. They have different aim with their repertoire. They see different things in music that I don't see, and I think it's just such a nice exploration together with them. So I enjoy teaching, and I enjoy seeing my students develop during these years that we have together. I enjoy watching them on stage, because we have concerts outside this building, which is really important that they meet their audience. And so I watch and I observe the audience reactions to them, and it makes me really proud. So yeah, there are many things. And of course, most of all, I love working with music, the classical, Western classical music, as we call it. It's just a treasure. It's incredible, the kind of piano music we have every day to work with. It's really fantastic. I was a practicing psychologist. I stopped a few years ago, and I now devote myself only to music. So and teaching. Yes, there are many things you can sort of translate in the knowledge of being a psychologist, and most of all, using psychology as a help for musicians in many aspects. But the one I use most is in my course for musicians is the performance part of being a musician, to perform under pressure, which we do a lot. And so I do think there are many things you can just translate, and many things that we work with in my course concerning how we function when we are performing under pressure, how we function when we learn music, how the brain works with music, and how we can sort of use the brain in the best possible way, in the best way and the most optimal way. Again, to be efficient and to be kind, actually, to be kind to yourself and not stress yourself without really knowing why you're doing it. So to become more aware of how we function as psychological beings is absolutely possible, and I do it a lot with students, and I hope they can gain from that. It's a really difficult question, but I would say 4 to 5 hours a day is reasonable to practice. And at some point, maybe not that much, and at some point, maybe more. Depends on what instrument you are playing, and I mean what kind of course you're into, registered to. I could basically only speak for piano students, and I would say it depends on, and I think it depends also on the period where you are in your life or studies, and in some periods of life you need to really work really hard, and some periods you need to relax a little bit more and perhaps take it down a notch. It really depends, and it depends on how effective you are, and that's actually something I talk a lot about in my course for musicians, how you help your brain to work in an optimal way when you learn music and when you have a deadline, for example, so that you don't waste time by practicing inefficiently. Well, the course runs throughout the year, and we see each other about 8 times, and then we have also individual sessions at the end. Why it is important and why it's valuable for musicians, I think, well, as I said before, the main goal, there are many main goals, but one of them is to make musicians more aware of how they function, to make them see that there are actually strategies and possibilities to work with the skill of performing that has, of course, a lot to do with how you practice and how you play music, but it is a particular skill actually to perform, and you can work with that particular skill in more direct ways, and you can use psychology in that way. Another goal is to make them see that they're not alone. Many musicians, I think, and young students think that they have to deal with this individually. Sometimes they even think that they have to deal with it in a therapeutic way with therapy, and I think we can do a lot before that. I'm not against therapy at all, but I think we can, as a community, work with these things on a group level. So I would say that the group of students at the end of the course have developed some kind of group feeling where they can help each other and where they give each other advice. And many musicians, many students have really good strategies. They're just not aware of them. And we work a lot with verbalizing them and really making them clear to them. And then, of course, I give them other advice, and I do lectures with the knowledge there is in psychology. And I also work with the psychology department in Lund, which is really unique for the school, that we have this really good collaboration with the psychology department in Lund. And so I have 2 very good friends that I work with there, Simon Graneren and Per Johansson, that have lectures here. And also we have master students in the psychology department writing about music students here. And so that's a really, I would say, beautiful collaboration, and the students seems to really enjoy it, and they gain different things from it, I think. And some students, they don't need it at all. Most of the students, I think, enjoy it and learn things from it, and another goal is for them to really use this in their everyday life. So if they take 2 or 3 things that they learn from this course and can use it in their everyday life, that's really good for me to hear and to know. That's the whole point of everything. So where the psychology students, when they learn these things, they learn it for other reasons, so to speak, to be able to have them in their profession as psychologists. Whereas in my course, I teach them things that they can have and really use as musicians. So it's, I really want them to use it.